Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I wait all morning to get in the TV8 kitchen, and now it is time to think about something kind of only a little bit healthy for Thanksgiving. I'm going to start with cabbage. If I left it alone, it would be so good for you, low in calories, high in vitamin C and vitamin K. But don't you worry, my friends, it's Thanksgiving, and I'm not leaving it alone. I'm going to make a cream sauce for it, kind of like a mac and cheese sauce. So you can really put this on any vegetable you want if you need those training wheels. So right now in the kitchen, what I have going on is I have my green cabbage. I would not be using red cabbage for this because it kind of bleeds and it would look really funky in a cream sauce. It'd be like purple. Wouldn't be that appetizing looking. So what I've done is I've cut up half of my cabbage. I just sliced it right down the middle, and I left it so the little bit of the core is there because what I want to do is flip it over and have it stay together. I put it in a pan that was on medium heat with olive oil. And what happens here is I did this like an hour ago, and then I've been busy running around the studio, which is actually one of the best ways to cook your veggies because then you get those nice little brown bits on it, and that's what you want. Over stirring is like the #1 problem that beginner cooks have. So walk away from your food and don't worry about it. It's going to cook up nicely. That little brown bit, that's not burnt. No way. That is flavor right there. Ooh, look at that one. That's a hot spot. There's always a hot spot in your oven. So that's looking really good. We're going to keep that like that and just let it kind of cook down a little bit. I have some onions cooking as well because everybody that walks into the studio right now is like, it smells so good. It's not because of the cabbage cooking, I will assure you on that one. It's because of the onions. So seriously, have someone over for dinner, get takeout, just chop an onion and cook it. They'll think that you are like the best chef around. What I'm going to do now is with my onions and garlic that are in this pan, I'm going to deglaze the pan a little bit with some white wine. Yes, I left a little bit of the white wine in my bottle last night so I could cook with it today, and I'm going to put a little bit of that in my pan. That's just going to help deglaze it. That means when all of those little brown bits on the bottom are right there, that is going to help it kind of pick those bits up because those are filled with tons of flavor. So I've got that cooking right there, and now to make a cream sauce you need to make a roux, and what we do when we make a roux is we put 1 fat, 1 flour ingredient, equal amounts. You can do it with olive oil and flour, but today I am going with real butter, and I have about 2 tablespoons of that real butter. I'm going to melt it in this pan, and then I'm going to whisk in the same amount of flour. That is the base for really any kind of cream sauce or mac and cheese or anything that you're making. You could have that be the base, add a little mustard, put it on some chicken. You will be so happy, and so will all of the people that are dining with you. But let's talk about the healthy stuff for a minute. Cabbage, really, really good for you. I said it's high in vitamin C. We all know that that helps to fight the colds. It's low in calories, and it's filled with fiber. It's also good for your cardiovascular system, and it has a lot of vitamin K. What does vitamin K do? That's kind of one of those vitamins you don't hear a whole lot about. It helps with blood clotting, so it really keeps you healthy. If you're going out skiing, this is going to be a good one for you. All right, here we go. I'm putting that flour right on in there. You can also like mix the flour dry with the butter before you do this, but this is kind of like a quick fix. See how thick that's going to get? That's what we call our roux. Now, a lot of times, like if you're making gumbo or something, you will definitely make a roux that will last like a long, long time. That means you're going to sit here and stir it. It gets a nice brown copper color, and you can do that for a while. This is kind of like our quick fix. So what I'm going to do now is add a little more wine. We need to get this a little more creamy because it's too thick. You can do a broth too if you don't want to share your bottle of wine with your cooking, which sometimes that's what I have to do. But here we go. We have a nice thick sauce. Add that wine. And there, it's smelling good. It's getting nice and thick. And now I have decided that I'm going to add some ham because I decided not to do bacon just because ham's a little bit less calories, and I just totally love ham. I'm kind of one of those ham people. And so we're going to mix that in a little bit as well. And I'm going to use some Monterey Jack cheese because I really love how Monterey Jack cheese melts. So you could use a fontina or something else like that as well and just stir it around. It's getting creamy. It's getting delicious. If I had a little more chicken broth or wine, I would add that right now because this is a really thick sauce. but it's got that ham in it. You're going to put a little salt and pepper on there, make it nice and creamy. Now, if you're looking for some healthy veggie recipes, you can always log on to my website at colorfulcooking.com, and I'm going to have Mark Sassy head on over here. Mark, he's like looking really, really hot in his apron, so we're going to fatten him up a little bit with some cream sauce.
How about this?
I'm also gonna, I like it a lot. Okay, there's the website, colorfulcooking.com. Hey, I'm also gonna add a little bit of half and half, right? Because you have this because it's Thanksgiving. Now I do half and half because it's half milk, half cream. So if you just do cream, it's all cream. So it's super fattening. So if you do half and half, it's a little better. Are you a cabbage guy?
I've learned so much today already.
You have? What did you learn?
You know, I've just learned about half and half. I didn't know that it was half milk and half cream.
So that means it's like half the fat. So that's really, and it still tastes awesome.
I love cabbage. I've never had it this way though, and I love this little charness to it. It just does, it pops out the flavor. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfect.
I heard you going ooh and ah when I was putting all that, when I
You
flipped
did
that
not.
over. Yes, I did. I totally heard you saying that. Okay, so this is what we have. This is a nice meal. The one thing about it is you could put it in the oven. You could put it at a low temperature if you wanted to. With cream, you don't want to be heating it up too much, especially at Thanksgiving, because it's going to curdle and it's going to separate. It's not going to be as good. So it's kind of one of those things that you want to make pretty close to turkey time. All right, so we're going to put that right on the plate.
Now, are you calling this a meal, or this is just a little side dish?
This is a side dish. Well, it goes with
right?
turkey. And I've got some ham in here, too. I mean, you could probably, if you wanted to. We're going to put a little bit of this cream sauce right on here. Mark, I call this like training wheels for people that don't like veggies.
I need training wheels.
You do?
No, I just like that creamy sauce. It looks good.
You don't need training wheels. You're like a pro. There we go. That's a super easy way to eat cabbage. You can do it low-cal like this. Just sprinkle it with a lot of salt and pepper. A lot of salt because it needs some flavor. Good
What's
for you.
What's your website again?
Yourself.
Colorfulcooking.com?
Colorfulcooking.com.
You got to check out. She's a whiz in the kitchen. It's really amazing to have her as a part of our TVA team. We're very fortunate.